Guys, I'm back with another news. Welcome back to the channel. So the fake Igbo king manager who was arrested 2 days ago finally came out and shared his own part of the story. Guys, let's take a look at this video, and please, at the end of it, kindly drop your opinion in the comment section. Let's watch.
That's our Nigerian brother that was arrested in Ghana a few days ago. He's here to share with us the reason of them arresting him in Ghana. Listen and hear what he have to share with us. I'll be right back.
Let me say this, I wasn't arrested, I was adopted. Yeah. Yes. So I don't want to talk about this, but it's okay for my fans who wants to know. I was adopted, and I think I've won Guinness World Record. Yes, I think I've won Guinness World Record as the first person to be arrested with the new Ghana police, because the one we know is the traditional blue. But with the brown one they came with, we didn't know. So I think I should apply for Guinness World Record as the first person to have been arrested in that uniform. With that being said, yeah, this is what happened. I was having a nap on the Sunday when my son, Ephraim, is my second son, screamed and said, "There are gunmen at the gate looking for daddy." Coming after that, they were playing football outside, so he ran into the gate screaming. So from the sleep I heard it, and I opened the doors. I didn't open the door, I opened the window curtains to watch. So, and I noticed two men stepping, wearing brown uniform and covered, their face covered, they were masked. And I think this instruction was to shoot me. Yes, because I saw them enter with another civilian. So when the guys entered, and one went through the back, one went through the front. Before I knew what was happening, the gunman was going through the corridors. By this time, my kids, everyone is outside now watching, panicking, trembling. Don't forget, I have a 5-year-old daughter. They were all traumatized, and she's still traumatized now. I had to beg her to go to school. So I came out to them and I said, "Who are you looking for?" And as soon as I came out, I saw the guy holding pump action, pointed it to my leg as if he wanted to shoot. So I was just looking at him. That's when they were no Jai. And I was like, so I followed them, and he said, "Are you the one who did this video?" I said, "Yes." So they said, "We'll lead him to doctor, let's doctor identify him." At that point I was like, what's going on? It was when I now saw Hassan guy himself. There were 3 V8s parked outside. Hassan guy was in one. And so I came out and I saw them. Guy came out himself with other men who I don't recognize. And I noticed, because my area is quiet, I noticed that on a Sunday, they can take me quietly to an unknown location. So once I get into the car, it's finished. So I had to cause a scene. I started kati, dragging with them. So they were forcing me into the car, and we created a very serious scene with Hassan Ayariga standing there. A presidential candidate, that's all right. So people were videoing now. My neighbors, everybody, they were taking videos. So, and yes, that's when you heard me saying, "You are beating me, eh? You are beating." Yeah, I said it, and the voice you heard was Hassan Ayariga saying, "Who is beating you? Who is beating you?" So when we came out, I saw about 20 Okada people have surrounded my fence. 20, like almost. One was somewhere carrying two people like that. So he now commanded them to follow us, and they were following up to the heavy siren. And I now told the driver, Hassan, now me, you can't carry like this. The driver said, "Yes, you are a president." I said, "Okay." And truly, maybe they didn't know that I'm the president of Nigerian filmmakers in Ghana. Probably. So they accorded me a very good presidential convoy. They spent so much to promote my new movie, and I appreciate that, because I'm the most trending actor in Ghana as it stands. Yes, I am the most trending actor in Ghana today as it stands. Yes, and thank you very much. So that was what happened. When we got to the junction, and Then one of the men that followed him said they should open the door so that the boys will slap me small. That's what he said. So he wind down as the boys were coming towards me, and the officer that was, it's not, I don't know, Ghana police is here to confirm whether that's their name anyway. He held me and was hitting me. I'm a man now, what man never see before. You know who I be? You know the kind of beating when person don't receive. The shock say I still fresh like this. Now man I be now. Man. So when that happened, I came out and said, no, it's already trending. People are sending me videos. Don't touch him again, don't touch him again. That's when they resent their decision. They see everything don't cast now. Because what they wanted me to do, because the driver that was carrying me was telling me that if you go now, if we leave you after today and you talk about Ayariga again, then you want to leave this country. So that was what happened. It was like a movie, and it's good for the business. If you are a filmmaker, you know that it's really good for the business. So 31st October, I'm a filmmaker. That's what I am. And when you help me promote my brand, that's what you've just done. Because I'm so grateful, presidential candidate of a head of a political party. Oh, I'm so blessed. So 31st of October 2025, Silverbird Cinema, Accra Mall and Westhill Mall. Alessio Sifo will be there, Yemi Black will be there, everybody will be there. Peace, and I love you all. Peace all the time. Nigeria, oh, not too much. The love, the unity, the togetherness. Giant for a reason. Nigeria people, I didn't know you love me like this. God bless you all. God bless you. God bless you, every Nigerian in Ghana. God bless you. So if you talk about him again, you want to leave this. So that was what happened. They rescinded their decision and took me to Central Police Station. You know, so that's it. That's what happened. And so, must don't forget 31st October. Done.
You, this boy, are you sure waiting the talk not true? Are you sure? But some people get mind though. You take Ghana. You take Ghana, they can't catch you. You don't even get papers. You even get mouth come back online, like mind come back online. They talk like this. Hey, this one shocked me, Shao. This one shocked me. Let's see what will happen after this very video go viral again. Because I refuse to believe what you are saying. Are you sure? Well, guys, let's take a look at the next video. And please, at the end of it, drop your opinion in the comment section. As when they look for trouble for this country called Ghana, now so if the video gets to us, we go come out, like we go show unto the whole world to see, until when you are ready to stop. When you stop, then we stop. But when you beat your chest and keep doing the crimes, now so we go they bring you out one by one. Guys, let's take a look at the video.
That's a tell now say Ghana is far better than Nigeria. Some people they commit rubbish for there. They talk about, I don't understand. How do you even compare these countries? Nigeria, when you do this, they kidnap, they rob. And they rob. The police, they treat citizens anyhow. People that are meant to protect the lives of citizens, not them they oppress the citizens. I don't know if they compare to country every say man. They get security, their security they work, everything they function. Every say man, you can't even you can't even sleep with your two eyes. In Nigeria, yeah, they compare country, every say man, Ghana, when we say they get when we say they get security, they get lights, everything is working. I don't even know. I beg.
In Africa, how can you tell me that a country that more than 200 and something people can die, Fulani Esme can kill more than 200 and something people, and our useless presidents cannot even come out to say one word, and you come and challenge Ghana, that Ghana is a small country. Meanwhile, 2 women was kidnapped in Nigeria. Just 2 women. The president ordered immediately police from here and national security to go to Nigeria to go and rescue the women and even catch the kidnapper. In Nigeria, what Nigeria police, what Nigeria government cannot do. More than 200 people have died. Our foolish president have not said anything. He has to take the Pope of another country to speak to us, to address us. Nigeria is a shame. Nigeria is a shame. And if you are in Nigeria, you are not in a country, get your passport, run to any country that you can run to, probably Ghana or America, anywhere you can run to.
All right, my people, you see the reason why so many of our Nigerian people are running to Ghana. This is the reason why so many of other African countries are trying by all means to have Ghana passports. You see it? Did you get the point? When your country is good, the government, everybody is doing good in the country. Other countries will use your country as a good example. But when your country is not performing very well, your leaders and everything in the country is not performing very well, they are not going to use it to give as good example. Rather, they'll use it to compare as bad example. I don't know what you think about this video. Drop your comment. Tell us what you think about this video.
Guys, pressure keeps on mounting on the Ghana Police Service from so many Senegalese nationals as they are demanding for justice for the young Cheikh Toure, the goalkeeper who was kidnapped and, you know, unalive in Ghana. And we've seen so many, you know, citizens of Senegal doing several videos and calling on the Ghana government to work on this, because in their country, they keep on receiving calls from people in Ghana that are on QNet, and then, you know, bringing them to Ghana in the name of giving them football clubs, so on and so forth. And they are calling on the government of Ghana to work on this thing, because we are all African countries and they believe their nationals that are coming to Africa or coming to Ghana should be safe. And, you know, to the people of Senegal, we the people of Ghana, I think at this point, we will let you all know that we are in fully support in demanding for justice for young Cheikh Toure. To whoever is behind this atrocity, we don't know for now, but we pray and we trust in the Ghana Police Service to act swiftly and get the perpetrators to the books. And to whoever is involved in this, I can see the Senegalese people, they value human life, not like we Ghanaians that we had one of our Ghanaian lady being kidnapped in a country. She works with the Ghana embassy. She got unalive, and to date, none of our politicians or none of them has even said anything about it. You know, we are not even hearing the media talk about it. And with the way I'm seeing Senegalese demanding for justice, I think that is the good way to go. And we are fully in support with the Ghanaian youth. We are fully in support, and we are waiting for justice for Cheikh Toure. Thank you.
First of all, before I address the unfortunate incident that happened to this young Senegalese goalkeeper in Ghana, Senegal people, the disrespect, the way you guys are talking about my country, Ghana, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yes, your young goalkeeper was kidnapped, abducted, and unalived in Ghana. Yes, we know it happened in Ghana. But look, Senegal people, respect yourself. Respect yourself. So this guy is called Cheikh Toure. He's a young promising goalkeeper in Senegal. I don't know how these wicked people got access to his number and his email. So they sent him a message saying that, oh, he has secured a trial with a professional club in Ghana. And instead of him to also do extensive digging and everything, he did not do that. So he came to Ghana. So when he was coming, he was talking to the people that he was chatting with, not knowing those people, they are kidnappers. So he was chatting with them. Immediately he landed in Ghana. They abducted him. They kidnapped him. And you know, if kidnappers kidnap you, you know the thing. You have to pay a huge ransom before they release you. And the boy, he's not from a wealthy family in Senegal. So he gave the kidnappers his family's contact. His family also started soliciting for funds so they can pay the kidnappers and he'll be released. But unfortunately, the money was just too huge. So they were unable to raise the money, and they unalived this boy in a very, very brutal way. Like, in a Charlie, if you see the body, oh boy. So he has been unalived, and when they are now unalived him, those sick people actually took videos and sent to the family of the boy. So his body has been retrieved, and he's currently at Tafumoji. So soon he will be sent back to Senegal for burial. So the Senegalese police and the Ghanaian police are collaborating to find the perpetrators of this heinous act. So Senegal people, it is not our fault that your goalkeeper did not do extensive checks before coming. You know, we Ghanaians, we are not known for kidnapping. And even if there are some, it is too early to start insulting us. So we know you are grieving, we know you are mourning, but don't insult us. We don't like that. We will not take that from you.